Flory Models daily vlog. Here we are, Monday the 10th of August 2015, and I've spent a day playing with this again. Don't get me wrong, love it, all the rest of it, but what I've been trying to do is work with the engine. Now, we all know I put in the working engine into this particular one, with all the intents and purposes of it having a ground run, but quite frankly I have a few problems. First of all, I'm not sure if it's the drive shaft itself on the motor that may be slightly bent, if it's the plastic tube that comes with it, or it's just the weight of the entire thing and the motor really isn't designed for 1.5 volts. So I've upped it, I've gone in with 3 volt and we've upped it again to sort of, 6, and then we've gone in really at 9 volt. And then I'm worried about the motor overheating and melting because it can't cope with the sheer weight of the actual prop on this. And if it starts to melt, that's going to take my engine out and I'm in for a lot of trouble. So, up on the forum this afternoon, I put up some pictures, some nice detailed shots of this one as we are at the moment, asking you the question on, is it worth me actually messing around with this engine anymore? Now, the whole point of this particular one was to be on a sort of diorama base with all the panels open, everything else like that. The engine was going to be running with a ground test. Now, the thing was, I was never intending to put a crew in it because let's face it, I'm hopeless at that anyway, and I'm a great believer in know your limits. So it probably looked a little bit odd not to have somebody sat in it if it's the engine's running and all the rest of it, and obviously some crew around it. But that's something that you could have sort of just glossed over a little bit. My problem is though, is that I don't really want to spend another week having to rebuild the engine. Now I have got another kit just up there that I could cannibalize, have the engine out of it and do it. Because the only way to replace this is never going to be get this apart. This engine's never going to come apart. I'd have to take the engine unit off of this one and replace it with a new one and do full testing and perhaps some type of even gearing or working, changing the motor out, trying to fit it into the actual block and everything else to have a stronger motor in there. Then it needs to be down geared anyway because I don't want it going along like a blender and all the rest of it. So to be on my mind, I'm sort of thinking, forget it. It wasn't really an option. I don't want to mess around and ruin everything we've done with this one as it is. So now my mind is thinking, okay, forget it, just leave it as is, and away we go. Now hopefully the front will just come off. At the moment we've got it in here and we've got the system down in here. And what I could easily do is just attach the prop on the front and we're good to go. Because to be honest, I've been doing it with a little bit of brass rod. Where's my brass rod? This guy fits in perfectly, goes in, holds it, and is a nicer fit than the actual plastic one. So really, my question to you guys in the forum is to pop in there, have a look. It's in there, you'll find it in the latest threads up there, and basically answer my question is, what do we do with this one? Do you say, okay, spend a week, rebuild another engine for it, show us how you're going to do it and get over the problem, or do you say, cut your losses on this one, forget the engine, bad idea anyway, they look rubbish, and then literally just put it onto a diorama base with all the bits and pieces, and that's not mess around with it anymore, and we can get on with other great builds and all the rest of it. So that question is up in the forum at the moment. As we speak, we've had no negatives at the moment. Everyone's saying forget it, don't worry about it, just crack on, and we'll leave it as is. But obviously it is your choice, you're the guys, you determine how I do this and how we get on with it. So if you do want me to stop, put another engine in it and try and work the problem, then I'm happy to spend another week messing around with it, trying to do it. Personally, I'd rather just cut my losses now and move on. If it was up to me, that's what I would do. But obviously you guys are in charge, you're my boss, and I'll do whichever way you want me to go. So anyway, part 12, this is up now, and in part 12, what do we do in part 12? Just trying to think. Oh, we weather undercarriage by using pigment and airbrush cleaner. Or is it thinners? No, I think it's thinners, X28 thinners, and we make up a thick wash, which is what we used on the gear of this one and everything else. We talk about spattering, things like that. We also do all the glass work, talk about armoured glass, fixing armoured glass problems, stuff like that. And then we actually talk about doing the wiring work, which is a little simple tutorial about using tack to hold your wire in place whilst the glue's drying and then removing it and all the rest of it. So part 12 is up on the site now. You can catch that one out right now. Just literally click on the link below and it'll take you to it. So over the weekend, lots of things happened on Friday. I was away over the weekend at a music festival, so I didn't get any work done. But on Friday and throughout the week, first of all, we do have to thank, I've lost there. Here we go. We do have to thank Barnwell Bodyworks. They have sent me their Badger range of paints. Okay, so a big thank you to them. They are on the forum as well if you want to speak to them directly. But these are the Badger model paint. So we've got down here, which set is this? They sort of come in a set. Full review I'm going to do for Thursday, okay, so it'll be up there then, but I thought I'd just show you now. They do a rolling stock colours, okay. They also do a scenery and structure colour set, a railroad private car colour set, military colours, obviously is what I've got here, automotive colours and weathering colours. And this other set is for the weathering colours. Alright, so we've got both of these, never used them before. To be honest, I haven't really heard of them. We've also got, they sent me, there's a range of this stuff, which is various colours as well. So we've got down here, fresh grass, love that colour. Bark, what is that one, what's the colour? I can't even pronounce that, H.E. moss or something. And what have we got there? Angelic blood. Okay, so it'd be interesting to give these a whirl. Say, never heard of them before, but if it goes anything like their Steinel Res, I think we'll be on to an absolute winner there. So got their stuff, and on Thursday I'm going to do an on test with that. Forgot to mention it last week. A lot of you saw it in the background and asked me about it. A couple of new things come in. To be honest, I'm one of the guys, and I have in the private warehouse at HobbyLink Japan. So this one I've had in there since it came out, but it's only just come in because the White Wing came out. This is the Snow Speeder. Again, we're going to review that this week. Looks to be another fantastic kit from Bandai. And the latest one that came out last week, hence why we got it here, is the Y-Wing, which again looks an absolute stunning kit in 1/72 and everything else. So really, really nice to have both of those kits. We're going to get them reviewed up for you next week. Later on tonight, or it'll be tomorrow by the time I've done the listing, I'm going to get your fantastic work. We're going to get your medals and all your bits and pieces. So I am going to be in touch for your actual addresses via the forum, everybody. Remember, please send it to me in the forum how I send it to you, okay? So i.e. if you can have your name, your address, your country, and then your zip code, all in normal font, and if you could put a capital at the beginning for your name so I don't have to retype it every time. Okay, 2 minutes it saves, makes you longer, saves me 2 minutes in work, and when you're doing this by 137 that I've got to do, obviously it's a bit of time. So if you can help me out, guys, and just put your names, capitals at the beginning, capitals for your addresses, things like that, and not just all in lowercase, it just saves me a bit of time because I don't have to go around and put them all in because I don't want to get lost in the post, okay? So if you can actually put your name, your full address, your country, then your zip code or your postcode, and then that way I can cut and paste it out to it onto our standard letter, because what I do is that letter you get saying congratulations and all the rest of it, I cut the top off because it's got your address on it, and then it goes actually onto the parcel, which then you'll be sent with your medal, badge, and your sticker set and everything else like that. So if you don't get it tonight, if I don't finish doing it tonight, you're definitely going to have it tomorrow. And then the first batches and the medals, because to be honest, when you take it to the post office, well, I don't, Mel will, but it'll be cringeable, okay? So literally, when you've got 137, everybody behind you goes, oh, with all the orders as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to do them in batches of countries. So it'll be literally like the US, well, rest of the world will go, then it'll be the US, then it'll be the EU, and then England will be the last one. So you'll roughly get them around about the same time throughout the week. But we're going to send them out in batches throughout all of this week. So there we go, that's it for today. So obviously you've got, say, part 12 of this one is up. You might even get part 13 tomorrow because there's no live show tomorrow because obviously we're on off that week and everything else like that. But that's it for today, so I'll catch you all tomorrow. So happy modelling, take care.